Ah, friend. My expression wasn't much better than yours when I first saw this. Your eyes aren't deceiving you. It's her. The famous singer, Robin. Penacony has made a solemn commitment to protect the safety of anyone inside a family dream. Any person in distress will be forcibly awakened and safely returned to reality. What gives them the confidence to make such conclusive statements? Because behind this promise is the harmony. The family's Dreamweavers link up their minds together to construct an unbreakable defensive line. Breaking through this line of defense to create death in the dreamscape. Not even a memo keeper could do that without the family's permission. Who could have done it, friend? The only one is her. The girl who calls herself a Galaxy Ranger. An imposter. An unsought guest. An emanator who hides her true identity. Friend, let's not beat around the bush here. The thing is, I want to reach out personally to team up with the Astral Express. I told you I'm just not interested in scrambling for the legacy. I just came to Penacony for work. I'm here to retrieve some lost property for the IPC, if you catch my drift. I'm talking ownership of this frontier prison. Oh, and take this. A thorough investigation can always use a little more funding. Don't mention it!
He doesn't know about Miss Firefly yet, but judging by your reaction, he may have noticed something going on and deliberately shifted topics to the truth of death to try and pull you in line with his way of thinking. 2 victims appearing one after the other in a very short time span, in and of itself, that's very unusual. 2 possibilities. The collapse of Penacony's dreamscape has started speeding up, making death extremely agitated and weakening the family's protections. Or, everything has been planned out and executed by someone.
Do you still dream, Hunter? Of those slain by your hand? You're still alive, as are you. You still have room to make a choice. Leave the music box behind, and then go.
Choice? The bloody trail of the destruction leaves no room for hesitation. Ranger, you tread the narrow path of the hunt. You could never understand. Burning forms the entire life of a fire demon, from the beginning to the end. We are born to die, just to put into practice a profile of another universal truth. All things are created for the destruction, but my flames are faint, and time is running out. Can you see the planet of festivities in the distance? I plan to bring purgatory with me there, and before that, I must surpass you. Because on the path they have forged, you have traveled farther than I have. Emanator, you cannot hide your true identity. Draw that sword, for we shall indeed remain here, bound to fight a decisive battle to the death, for I choose this. Just as even sweet dreams may be born of the void, the so-called impossible is merely something that is yet to happen.
The hunt is not the path I truly follow. May death be the end of your boundless dream, guiding you back to the waking world. I still see them in my dreams. called it. Your time hasn't come yet.
My script has always been brief. Other than that, anything beyond that is unnecessary. He knows my nature. There is but a single destiny from which no one can escape. And until then, I hold the privilege of choice.
I know who is inside that cold armor.
If your goal is the Watchmaker's legacy, then go look into the family. Not only are they covering up the existence of death, but they're burying the past and the truth about what happens inside the dreamscape. No harm in mentioning that Elio's only given me one instruction. Get all of the Astral Express to track down the Grand Legacy. I tried settling this in an easier and more direct way, but as you can see, here I am, confronting you. I failed. Can't ever go against the script.
The so-called impossible is merely something that has yet to happen. Is there anything else in your script about me? I'd like to know what kind of footnote I get to leave in that future foreseen by destiny.
Unfortunately, not a thing came up.
I knew it.
Your first question was, do you still have dreams about everyone who died because of you? I was born without the ability to dream. I live for this cold, harsh reality, for a little light, and to burn, to keep on burning, until I turn to ash.
Then you're already living in the waking world.
Let's recap everything then. The Trailblazer just reminded me of something. March, do you remember what that family rep who negotiated with us said?
Indeed, we trust that the Nameless has nothing to do with this, and we also beg each of you to help assist the family in verifying the identity of the deceased. That's how it was put, in reference to Miss Firefly. The family's planning on covering up all news about Miss Robin's death. If news gets out, Penacony's going to turn into a bloodbath.
But the murder that followed closely after was obviously beyond their anticipation. The family had to try and turn things to their advantage by bringing in reinforcements from outside. The Charmony Festival is nearly here. They must be snowed under.
It may also be that Miss Firefly's murder had so many witnesses that it couldn't be covered up. So they went with the flow and let more people on the scene to control the situation. So you suggest accepting Aventurine's proposal to team up?
Yes. It's risky, but we can only wait until both sides have played their cards before making any further judgments.
I get why, but there's a whole lot of bad guys and girls around here, and I'm worried about getting stabbed in the back. She's been bullied a few times now, and I can't stand it anymore. You...
One thing I'm curious about is, if a person dies in a dream, what happens to them in real life? Seeing as we're at the family's behest, why not pop back out to reality and verify Miss Firefly's situation back at the hotel? Perhaps we could also make a few inquiries about her while out there.
Honored guest, could you come out for a second?
I'd be embarrassed too, getting stared at like that.
Some claim that you're the real culprit behind these murders, that the Annihilation Gang's tragic fate at the banquet was a result of your blade, and that you're now attempting to unleash another bloodbath on Penacony.
Tragic fate. That Duke turned his dying body to flames and sacrificed his life as a martyr. He was a determined and heroic pathstrider. Not even a villain should be disparaged like this. And what's more, there were plenty of suspects invited. Do they really think that a blade is more dangerous than that black hole you're wielding?
So you must surely know, Miss Acheron, that peering into a black hole is not a wise move. As a potential threat, your knowledge of us has reached uncomfortable depths. Reveal your true identity and intentions. Otherwise, brace yourself for gravitational disintegration.
That shouldn't be necessary. But if it makes the Nameless feel less defensive, I'll be happy to abide. Believe it or not, Galaxy Ranger, Acheron, those are the names I go by to this very day. My trip to Penacony is solely to fulfill an old, final request. I'm here for the Watchmaker's legacy. And that's it. I think I've been honest enough. I've run around many different Penacony dreamscapes just to try and find that legacy. And during this period, I came into contact with quite a few guests. In the process, I gradually came to realize the secret of Penacony may be closely related to the Trailblaze. That's why I've come to ask for your help. I don't have enough proof yet, but I'd like to speculate something. The source of all tragedy lies within the family. If you could trust me, we could find the proof to support this claim together. By the way, would you like something to drink? Before we go, how about 2 cups of Wake the Heck Up? No, 4 cups.
I've been watching her closely for a while now, and the first invitation was in the banquet hall of the hotel. She just sat in one corner, keeping silent, chugging down a couple cups of Wake the Heck Up. I told her it's a pungent, bitter beverage, not the taste of sweet dreams, only for people allergic to Soul Glad. And she said,
Really? But I don't taste any difference at all between them.
It's a cinch. This music box. The invitation received by the Annihilation Gang. There are latent memories that linger on it yet. You see, memories of you are not yours alone. They travel in other people, other things. I know much, and I can predict even more. With some help, the dead can be made to speak. The Annihilation Gang, that band of desperados who all disappeared after meeting you. What exactly happened to them? Well, let me reveal all.
Gradation 12. Dreamscape 12. Father, I dedicate this to you.
Well done, Dubra. Wherever they go, shall be met by annihilation. They sought refuge in a land of sleep, merely wishing for undisturbed rest, away from the storms. Children of the flame, this marks your rite of passage.
She won't be necessary. I alone am enough.
When have those on the path of destruction feared death?
The memory after that is blank. How is that possible? This music box fell into Acheron's hands, and she brought it to Penacony. That's a fact, and that's how it should have gone. But along the way,
Who are you?
is this not a memory.
Oh, a memo keeper. Do you serve the Garden of Recollection? Or the Cremators? My name is Constance. A pleasure to meet you. We were supposed to meet in Penacony and spend an unforgettable time together. Want her secret? I can give it to you, and then you can enjoy the banquet for me. I wish you unforgettable memories.
Oh. A phone. Wanna listen in?
The formation of the Sigonian sovereignty is of great historical significance to the Sigonia system. This move puts an end to the planet's long and bloody history, turning the sensational Kataka-Avgin extinction event into a distant memory.
Sigonia 4 is located in an unclaimed zone at the intersection of the Denise, Prothean, and Dorneau star clusters. The planet's surface environment is known for being extremely harsh, constantly faced with the threat of impact from small-scale celestial objects. This is why very few intelligent species have made this planet their home, dividing themselves into several tribes to eke out nomad lifestyles as they struggle to survive the arid desert wilderness. They have developed their own folk beliefs that are independent of the Eon belief system.
Darling, listen. This is the sound of rain. On the day you were born, the sky also sent down a gift like this from Gayatra. Such a lucky child. Such a blessed child. Just like your name. A gift from them to Avgin. My boy. May the goddess Gayatra close her eyes 3 times. Keep your blood eternally pulsing. Let your journey be forever peaceful, and your schemes forever concealed. Welcome to this sad world, Kakavasha.
Time to wake up, gambler.
Oh, heavens. I must have drunk too much Soulglad. Didn't expect you to be back so soon. How is it? Find anything?
Besides Robin, there was another body. I don't know the exact details, just that it was a stowaway.
2 murder cases? I told you something seemed off about the Nameless. She must have come across the other one. This murderer is a psycho. But I have to admit, the case should be easy to crack. We can leverage the family's malfeasance and let the IPC use this as a reason to intervene. What should we do? Let me think. It's too rare an opportunity to miss out on, so I gotta be careful.
Incredible, gambler. Have you already exhausted your limited repertoire of tricks so soon?
There are plenty of chips, but it'd be best to choose carefully. The most straightforward has to be Robin. Remember? That masked fool once told me to find a mute as a friend. Robin is what she calls the mute. She has lost her voice, and while most people can't pick up on it, you and I cannot mistake that sound. Not produced by any voice box, but rather by the resonance of the harmony. Well, things aren't looking too optimistic, Doctor. I'm starting to break out in a cold sweat. Do you reckon there's still any chance of a comeback, given how things are?
A probability? Yes, it exists, but it verges on the infinitesimal. To phrase it in a manner more befitting the vernacular of Penacony, you're dreaming. This mansion nominally belongs to Sunday, and is very befitting of its owner. Without his express invitation, the likes of ordinary guests would never grace these grounds in their lifetimes. Look around while you still have this moment of freedom.
Hey, Doc, whose side are you on anyway?
Who's to say I won't sell you out?
A dead end?
The door is shut tight. Looks like we're on our own.
I mean, there isn't a door. How did you get in before? But are these nightingales?
They are. What's wrong?
How can nightingales be so huge? They look more like torment eagles to me.
There are no eagles in the 5 families, only nightingales. Why am I wasting time with you on this?
Just as I thought. Here's the correct answer.
A truly miraculous discovery. Perhaps I should offer you the chance to join the Genius Society.
Really? Well, I thought you'd given up on that already.
I was being sarcastic. Can't you tell? Hold on.
Huh? What's wrong? Are we heading the wrong way?
No, but this door is locked.
My friend? Did you really make an appointment with him? Huh. And the nameplate reads Gulliver's Arch. Well, I'm amazed you can remember something this tiny. You know, this reminds me of a tunnel I once saw that could shrink people who passed through it. Oh, Doctor, you're huge. It's me! Down here! In the sand pit! Oh, actually, I think we could make this work for us. Just find a way to slip me into Sunday's collar, and I'll infiltrate the family just like that. Oh, fine. I was just kidding.
Please look behind me. Capsule machine model.
What's up with that? Now the family's toys are trying to frame me? I didn't do a thing to it, Doc. You've got to be my witness.
I saw nothing.
Funny that Sunday puts a miniature that makes him seem like a giant by comparison right where he can see it first thing in the morning. Insecure much? Doc! I'll need your brain power again.
There's no need to yell. I can hear you. Finally, a moment of peace.
Doctor! Shake a leg? Without that pinball machine, neither one of us is going anywhere anytime soon. Oh, you're back. Just place it here. Thank you. Oh, Ratio, you should come in here and take a look. The view here is breathtaking. Honestly, you could easily squash me with just a pinch.
If that is your wish, I will do so without a moment's hesitation. Tell me about your plan.
I don't have a plan. I'll just play it by ear. There are only 2 kinds of bargaining chips when dealing with people. Benefit or fear.
Looks like sincerity isn't in your dictionary.
Am I not sincere enough? There's no need to emphasize it. We've got to make good use of death. That man's sister is dead. He won't be able to turn a blind eye, and that's fear. And I'll help him find the murderer. He can't do it due to his status and position, but I can. And that's benefit. Simple. Because that murderer could very well be a traitor hiding inside the family.
Do you mean the Galaxy Ranger whom you accused previously?
That was just an excuse, good doctor. There's something wrong with that woman, and we need someone who can keep her in check. It's better to minimize the variables outside our control while we execute our plans. But honestly, the murder case is likely unrelated to her. I believe my standpoint. There's a rat in the family. Otherwise, why would Mr. Sunday arrange a private meeting with us? This isn't an interrogation, but a secret negotiation. We'll see. Using Robin's death as a bargaining chip, I'll win back my freedom and power. In the end, I'll ruin this beautiful dream and create the grandest death.
Ah, the charming audacity. To think that you, of all people, might emerge victorious, dear gambler.
3 chips are enough. All or nothing.
I'm immensely honored by your concern for me, Mr. Aventurine. Since you're so selfless and generous, I believe you wouldn't ask for anything in return, would you?
Well, naturally, you wouldn't incur any loss from this. I just want to reclaim what is mine. My liberty and the personal items under the family's custody, the bag of gift money, and...
the box in which the cornerstone is stored. I'm not the kind that takes risks. The cornerstone must be in the custody of the family.
Sure. The gift money is good enough. I suppose you wouldn't mind that. After all, a merchant can't function without a bargaining chip.
The fact that you can decisively forsake the box you asked for? What exactly is stored in it? Oh, triple-faced soul, please sear his tongue and palms with a hot iron, so that he will not be able to fabricate lies and make false vows.
What have you done?
Do you love your family more than yourself?
Yes.
All the Avgens were killed in a massacre. Am I right? Are you your clan's sole survivor?
Perhaps.
Do you hate and wish to destroy this world with your own hands?
I don't know.
Can you swear that at this very moment, the Aventurine stone is safe and sound in this box?
Of course.
Are these what you're looking for? If you agree to assist the family, I'll share our research findings on the Stellaron. You must be quite aware that, besides the family, no other faction is willing to share such information. The cornerstone, which Mr. Aventurine surrendered. Was it really his?
You question whether he would entrust you with someone else's cornerstone. The 10 Stonehearts aren't as united as you think. Cornerstones are significantly more precious to them than their very own lives. And this golden statue is also known as Topaz, not Aventurine. And it belongs to Topaz.
I see. This bag. Mixing a cornerstone, more precious than life itself, with a bunch of worthless jewels, disguised as a gift of money waiting to be confiscated, is indeed in line with Mr. Aventurine's style.
Then he makes up some trivial excuse, downplaying the matter, and requests the gift money. This is a gamble, one he's all too familiar with, betting on your single misstep, leading to a total loss.
Ratio, you wretch.
What I performed on you just now was the Harmony's consecration. You were to show allegiance beneath the illumination of their grace. Yet you acted willfully, uttering nothing but falsehoods, transforming the consecration into a trial. I genuinely see no reason to absolve you from it. Throughout these 17 system hours, you will be unable to escape the dreamscape or contact any of your companions. You only have 2 paths before you, and it all depends on whether you can complete my test within the time limit. Should you succeed, you will be able to coalesce into the harmony and be with your family. If you fail, you will suffer the wrath of the eternal centurion and fall into an abyss of doom.
Sounds like I'm gonna end up the same either way.
I indeed do need a servant to help me uncover the evil hidden in the family from an external perspective. I will purge the evil from the inside and bring the real culprits to justice within 17 system hours. This is meant to be an act of personal virtue, not requiring the family's support. Your bag is over there. Do as you please. I believe you can trade this bag of worthless jewels for everything you need. That's what gamblers excel at, isn't it? Do you truly wish to bring about the destruction of this world?
Kakavasha! Where did you go? Oh, are you injured?
I made a bet with them. The two birds in the desert and me. Who will die first? I won.
Look, this is just a necklace. But Kakavasha, you are my only family. Pain and poverty are the trials of Gayathra Triclops. She has also granted us a chance. And that's your good luck, Kakavasha. Your good luck is the most precious wealth we, all Avgen, have.
But sister, if Gayathra Triclops was really watching over us, then why did she not protect Dad when he was swept away by the quicksand? After all, Dad went to the Catechins' land only to prepare for Gayathra Triclops' offerings. And where was Gayathra Triclops when Mom was shivering in our arms? Mom was still pleading for Gayathra Triclops' forgiveness under her breath, until the moment she closed her eyes. Sister, everyone praises me for being smart, but I don't get it. If every rain pour was Gayathra Triclops' forgiveness and grace, then how bad were our sins? So much so that we were born in this world of death?
But that Miss Firefly is truly mysterious. There's no information on her in the hotel system. Even if she's a stowaway, she should have a disguised identity after entering the planet. She's also in the running for the legacy. How is she going to sneak into the dreamscape unnoticed?
Armed evacuation? Boss, are you drunk?
Hey, check it out! That voice. Could it be the IPC workers from Bellabog?
I'll request a beating for you lot! You've been told not to drink during work hours. I'll organize a meeting later to properly go over how this incident report should be written.
So you know each other. Why do you keep running into people you've beaten up before? Oh, sheesh, why do you keep asking me that? We're in the middle of investigating a murder case for the family.
The beautiful dream is crumbling. But not because of a particular eon, a particular faction, or a particular visitor. Its collapse stems from a certain inevitability of human nature. The family refuses to acknowledge this, and it has ultimately backfired and become a catalyst. As people immerse their souls in the dreamscape, where consequences and pain cease to exist, and only ease and pleasure prevail, they draw closer and closer to necrosis. Regardless of the perceived bliss, death looms as the inevitable conclusion. I vividly remember everything that occurred on Penacony. Ask away. Behind the dreamscape's song and dance stand many imagination factories. Workers create all kinds of whimsical works day in and day out in their dreams. Then they return to reality and sleep on a narrow bed in a room. A far cry from luxury. There I encountered a young woman who had just come of age, the perfect time to indulge in beautiful dreams. Her greatest wish was to one day move to the golden hour and see the magnificent garments she had woven with her own hands.
Gilded Hour. It's said to be Penacony's currency center.
I've never met anyone who was willing to talk. I could only stand at the crossroads, watching crowds of people hurrying like the wind through the jungle of steel, only to deposit the alfalfa credits that they'd earned into the bank's vault. I don't know if they would open the vault door, but before I left, I witnessed a well-dressed Pepeshi person plummet from the sky, while those around him continued on their way, unfazed.
I hear the Blue Hour is very romantic. Do you have any tales to share?
Perhaps Mr. Yang has heard. There is a large boat called the Eventide, anchored along the Sea of Dreams, where soft music and dancing persist endlessly every night. I ran into a wizened lady there. She was at the dock, waiting for her long-departed lover to return, waiting for countless hours within time that stood still. Finally, she suggested we continue our conversation on a boat in the shallows. I agreed and boarded the boat with her. But she never said anything. Her eyes absent-mindedly gazing at the horizon for what seemed like forever.
The dreamscape of chic, luxury, and consumerism, the moment of dusk. My companions have been there too.
I saw an Intellitron there, who was preparing to auction himself. When someone wins a bid under stipulated periods and rules, he would do the buyer's every bidding, becoming that person's very possession. That Intellitron had been auctioned off 12 times, and I participated in his 13th. That was the grandest banquet I had ever attended. But never again did anyone cast another glance at him. This time around, there were no successful bids for him. I've traveled through the reality and dreamscape of the planet of festivities, watched the tides of night rise and fall when time stopped for people, where the spirits of the rich and impoverished remain forever fixed on their own scales. This is why I think the collapse of the beautiful dream is inevitable. But if this is indeed the world that people desire, if this is precisely why life chooses to slumber, should we still seek to change it?
There was a man from my homeland who, at a time when the world was grappling with deep, unhealable pain, made a choice. He wove together the dreams of everyone in the world, linking people's dreamscapes, and shouldered this burden himself. From this, he created a giant, a spiritual atom. They slumbered in a dream, devoid of disaster and pain, living out their days peacefully in the man's created utopia. And it is because of the wishes of those people who wished not to awaken that this spiritual atom became unbreakable.
And yet, you stand here right now, which also means that man failed.
Because people must always move towards the future. Even if human weaknesses make them pause when they truly cannot move forward, humanity will eventually seek a way to save itself. He ascended to heights uncharted, only to come face to face with the sun, a place not visited by anyone before. His wings would melt because of it, only for him to fall into the sea. And after that, countless others would surpass him, soaring to even greater heights.
I too have embarked on journeys, encountering old friends with familiar faces on different worlds, witnessing their destinies follow paths similar to mine. So I will tell you, even if not completely similar, the story you just told, it overlaps with my past. And within that abyssal dream, I ended that man's life. Alone. I like your analogy very much. Indeed, birds are born to fly. But in a distant past, their ancestors could only gaze at the sky in envy. They saw that faraway ray of light from above the heavens, piercing through the clouds and blanketing the earth. And so, time and time again, generation after generation, the birds spread their wings and took to the sky, attempting to touch its ceiling. all because the sun was there. Then, what if the last bird finally soars into the sky, only to realize that the end of the light is not the sun, but darkness? Then why, exactly, do we even walk towards the light?
Long time no see. Having fun on Penacony? Acheron, my bullets will find you. Until then, you best find a casket store on Penacony and ask the owner to reserve a good quality casket for you, imposter.
I only want to ask, how exactly did she become a Galaxy Ranger?
That lady's past. Well, nobody knows. But if all you want is a simple answer, sure, you best get a chair and take a seat. That woman, named Acheron, is an emanator who should not exist.
You look pale. Or is that also part of your act? Just tell me if you can't hold on any longer.
So, the genius of the Council of Mundanites wants to be my Undertaker now. My, what an honor.
Fine. Here, take this. Open it when you're on your last legs. You'll thank me.
What's this? Medical advice? You catch on pretty fast, Doctor. I can feel something inside my head. Is the harmony starting to kick in? The Devil of Soulglad, Dangers in the Dream, and Nightmare Ghosts. Well, surely death is a popular topic in this sweet dream granted by the family. Well, I've collected a bunch of rumors, but no useful clues. The gems in my bag are running low. Well, let's see if my last lucky interviewee brings some surprises.
Remember what I said. You Sigonians are better off hiding in the sewers. Look at you, snooping around and sticking your nose everywhere. I heard you got caught by the family. I gave you a clear clue. Befriend a mute. Simple and straightforward, you know? And what did you do? You messed it up and ended up as their prisoner. I told you to make friends with a mute, not become one yourself. You really let me down.
What did you mean by becoming one myself?
It means you'll soon end up like her, unable to speak ever again.
Back then, when you asked me to find a mute, did you really mean Robin?
And what if I say no? There were 2 mutes, but one is dead now, and the other, though he's still in Penacony, I'm afraid you'll never find him again.
Now I'm completely sure that I was on the right track from the beginning and never strayed, fool. My price. How much did you pay for me?
Huh. You really want to know? Well, it was 60 tanba. No more, no less.
30 tanba. If I come back alive, you'll give me 30 tanba. Deal?
Yeah, sorry, but that won't do. Don't forget your place, slave. You're not qualified to be at the table. You're just a chip. A life thrown away in someone else's hands. Either you come back with more chips for your master, or you never come back. It's all or nothing. Don't embarrass me, my lucky hound.
But here's the thing. We only received bad news, and the trickiest kind at that. She simply vanished, leaving no trace in the dreamscape or reality, as if she had never come to Penacony at all. If you really want to delve deeper into this case, you need to understand the true problem with the family.
Witness the impossible in the realm of dreams. find the legacy of the Watchmaker, father of Penacony, and thus the answer to the question, why does life slumber?
I'm sure you must have noticed that this message didn't come from the family. You might have even guessed that the relationship between the family and the Watchmaker isn't as close as it seems. Have you ever wondered why the family allowed the Watchmaker to send out such a ridiculous message to the outside world, inviting you here and causing chaos?
So, you want to seize this opportunity to expose the Watchmaker?
Well, now you understand why the Oak family authorized the Nameless to assist in the investigation, but kept you in the dark, right? Because the Watchmaker is not the legend of the land of the dreams at all. He's the most shameful stain in the history of Penacony, and he's the root cause of all the anomalies in the dreamscape. Mikhail, the betrayer of the family, he's the Watchmaker. You know that Penacony used to be the IPC's prison planet, right? All the prisoners were brought here, helping the Garden of Recollection salvage the leaking memoria from the macrovoid. The prolonged exposure to high concentrations of memoria caused a unique phenomenon. The dreams of countless prisoners intersected and overlapped, and people started meeting each other in their dreams, living lives that were almost identical to reality. But everything has a price, and sweet dreams are no exception. In the end, the dream world was unable to alleviate the suffering of prisoners in reality. One of the prisoners broke free from the IPC shackles and fought for freedom. He is Hanu, the great leader of Dreamville, the great peacemaker, and the faithful companion of the underdogs.
Doesn't that mean the Watchmaker was around for several centuries?
I'm not sure, but Mikhail was already the Watchmaker when I met him, so maybe he inherited the title.
How old are you now, Mr. Officer?
I'm 13. Hanunu freed the frontier prison, but peace still eluded him. With limited resources, threats from the outside world, and internal conflicts between major prison districts, the future of Osdana was uncertain. It wasn't until the Watchmaker approached the family with the idea of turning the prison into the planet of festivities that Penacony finally gained its name and glory. Just like you, I had close companions. We dedicated ourselves to Penacony, but the Oak family, they set us up. Mikhail was too old to protect his children anymore, so we left the family to find our own path. We were branded traitors of the Harmony, even though the true traitors were someone else. Nevertheless, we wanted to clear his name. We intended to find the real traitor, the one responsible for all this, and restore Harmony to Penacony. But we failed. Too much time had passed, and the land of the dreams had become deeply corrupted. After countless fruitless pursuits, I gave up. Like a lost dog. The family accepted me and made me an officer, supposedly as a form of forgiveness. But it was actually a punishment. Since then, I've been completely cut off from my partners and my past. As for Mikhail, I heard he died in obscurity, in a place where no one could find him. That's when I realized that the Penacony I once knew would never return. Apparently, someone has inherited the title of the Watchmaker and has been secretly working against the family all this time.
As soon as I and the rest of the crew arrived in Penacony, Mr. Sunday and Robin showed up to greet us. I remember hearing something unusual in her voice, and now it seems I was right.
Robin believed it was because the Harmony had been tampered with somehow. But as far as I know, there aren't many entities capable of interfering with the power of paths.
Meaning?
If there really is a traitor within the family, that person must hold a high position or possess unimaginable strength.
That would explain why Mr. Sunday has been having such difficulty in catching the traitor. According to Robin's interview, despite having performed on so many grand stages, her favorite performance was a pretend show she put on with her brother when they were just kids.
I wonder how their relationship is now.
Growing up brings gains, but also losses.
Mr. Sunday has done some serious research on his suspects. This traitor must have been causing trouble for the family for a long time. Huh? Wait, these characteristics.
What is it?
No, nothing. Maybe I'm just overthinking things. However, if this traitor really exists, could they be responsible for Firefly and Robin's deaths?
According to a Pierpoint hotline tip, there was a major breakthrough in the shocking Ejhazio Aventurine case. The suspect has been arrested. This fraud case has been linked to many departments within the Interastral Peace Corporation and the Intelligentsia Guild, causing a large drain in manpower and resources, resulting in the IPC taking a massive loss.
You're pretty confident on your eloquence. Did you also think that when you lied to the Intelligentsia Guild?
Ask and you shall receive. You wanted the perfect construction material. All I did was offer a possibility. It was just a small wager. If your luck holds out, the IPC will dig something up from the golden sands of Ejihazo. Maybe even the Sand King's remains. Pity your luck has run out. I want cash. It is that simple. 30 tanbas. The remainder of my market value. 30 tanbas. No more, no less. With this money, I'll climb to even greater heights than you. Grasp even more riches than you. I wager you won't give me this chance. Which is why you should call him here.
You're wrong. 30 tanbas. He'll give you that. And much more than that. Wealth, status, power. The IPC will give you whatever you want, even what you don't want. Go. Pick the clothes you like, then choose your desired identity. And then, use them well, child.
Even if I overcome this difficult trial, what would come next? What awaits me after this glorious gamble? An even more glorious one? Will I return triumphant with unending riches after countless successes, or will I encounter failure, never to return? I'm pretty sure you already have some ideas, lowly gambler. Forgotten me already? When you were strapped to that electric chair by a mannequin warlords, who was it that gave you the idea? Fine. I may be crazy, but I'm not stupid. Get out of my head, newborn of the Harmony. The Harmony? Oh, don't play the fool. It's not the first time we've met. No need to be so polite. I'm you, and perhaps even more aware of yourself than you. Of what exactly you want. You're dying. And you still want to drag a bunch of unfortunate fools with you through death's door. That's why you're here, isn't it? Most people in this world spend their entire lives just to reach one outcome. And I am that outcome. Kakavasha, I am your future. First, I'm hearing things, and now I'm seeing them. Great. Am I going to be elevated into the Harmony's Emanator next? I thought minors weren't allowed in Golden Hour. Hey kid, you okay? Are you lost? Your eyes. Impossible. Who are you? The eyes. And Mama Funga. No, it can't. There aren't any Avgens left. Which is why, once you step into the hotel, you remove your high hat and beg everyone you come across for help. Like a hyena scavenging for scraps in the desert. Because you know that opportunities are fleeting. Oh, when you put it like that, even Ratio's a teeny peacock analogy sounds pleasant. Go on. Tell me I'm right. You know who you really are, Mr. Cavalier Gambler. Uptight, overcautious, massive inferiority complex. You've won so much, and you're still so afraid of losing. But it's strange. Why did you decline that invitation? You had the chance to embrace elation. Was that not what you most wanted? But you chose the IPC instead. Oh, I thought you knew. Didn't you say you had me pegged? I know you won't forget that sound anytime soon. Those shrill cackles. You had to hide right under the noses of those savages. You and Big Sis, playing dead, drifting in all that bloody water. Completely ruined that shirt. Shame. Wasn't that the last one Dad left behind? It wasn't ruined. I've always kept it. The cornerstone's hue is the same as the radiance of Clipant's body. I've got to give it to you. I've heard a lot of baloney, but that lie deserves a prize for sheer nerve. If he were just a little bit smarter, the jig would have been up right there. This is just bait. Of course. That's why Ratio's betrayal was one of the keys to your plan. I have to say, that doctor's acting was superb. Sunday didn't become head of the Oak family by acting sloppy. He's obsessed with control. You have to give him enough detail to satisfy his meticulous nature, but not so much that he gets suspicious. Which is why you had Ratio seek him out and leak the plan on purpose. To prevent the other party from suspecting anything. The intel you gave to Ratio was all true, and he spoke the same to Sunday. Finally, Sunday took the bait, found the other cornerstone, and before you know it, everyone's distracted enough for you to steal the third stone right out from under them. This type of stone isn't rare, but its hue is very similar to a certain gem. In fact, it's often used as a substitute. And that more precious gem is... jade. Aventurine, topaz, jade. 3 elites, 3 cornerstones who, for a measly Penacony, offered their everything. Oh, you're even more united than the family. You smashed the Aventurine stone before you left? You're absolutely clear about the consequences of doing this. Blasphemy against Clipant's body. You think the IPC will let you get off scot-free? Well, Diamond has always been all about results. As long as I could create value far beyond the cost, the ends justify the means. How else would the family be fooled if there was no price to pay? It doesn't matter. Even smashed to smithereens, the preservation's cornerstone can still be used. Its effect may be greatly diminished, but it's enough for me.
I'm so happy. On our way here, Papa even brought me to see a blimp.
I think you mean film. Do you need a hint? These are manacles on you. That man gave you your first job, and you made your first pot of gold. I remember it all too well. You wrapped that iron chain around your fist, for that is the only tool you could find. Then, in that maze. You... Shut up! Oh, you don't wish to face your past? Unwilling to admit that your life is worth only 60 tamas? Well, from what I see, you refuse to confront it, because it only proves your weakness. In your hands, those who follow you could have become joker cards. They're far more useful that way. It's not like this is the only place the family ever cut corners. You could have had tons of action if you weren't so all or nothing. All it takes is a meager sacrifice. I bet Opal would have resolved this without a fuss. What fun is it if the fight isn't fair? Fair? You assume your opponents would fight fair in the first place. The odds are obviously not in your favor, so how are you just breezing by? But did that masked fool's words awaken something in you? Well, she gave me an answer that could turn everything upside down. You mean it could make all the cards on the table just disappear? That's cheating. Mama only left us with 2 pieces of jewelry, a necklace and a lucky charm. There won't ever be a 3rd piece. That's what you always say, but you actually regret it, don't you? That you didn't sell them. I know. You must remember what Big Sis told you. You are a child blessed by Gallagher Triclops, and can lead the clan to happiness. So always remember to protect yourself and never resent the pain and poverty you're going through. So, you surely won't forget how tragic her last moments of life were. How the piercing laughter behind you felt like it was drilling into your heart. You ran away without looking back, just as she told you to. Enough! Do you not have anything better to talk about? Oh, shut me down like a champ! Well, I guess when it comes to mind games, this isn't exactly your first rodeo. I think I finally get you. And woo! You are nuts! You're home. Where is it?
What a strange question. It's where Papa, Mama, and Big Sis are. In this dream.
You don't care who the real murderer is, and the Watchmaker's so-called legacy couldn't be more boring. What you want, what you need, is to be the smooth operator, the solid gold deal maker who doesn't waste a drop of sweat, even when he's up to his neck in danger, deep inside family territory. You want to be polished up, cuffed with red-hot chains, and spotlit center stage. You'll be the closing act, the final sacrifice. I can do it. And it will be flawless. Of course you can. Your luck will help you at the right time. Stellaron and an emanator. It's that simple, no? That way, the IBC will earn a place at the table. And as for you, you'll just happen to slip the leash, leave the rat race, extract yourself from this endless debacle. You'll have the freedom you've always dreamed of. You will keep winning, having never lost before, but why you? Why must it be you? If all your luck is built on the pain of someone you love, on the loss of dozens more, if these windfalls, these jackpots, aren't a gift from Gallagher, if all they are is a long string of meaningless deaths, then what did we do to deserve living in a world like that?
Putting our palms together is a simple ritual. By putting our palms together and reciting the prayer to Mama Funga, she will bless us.
Why? The catechins have already taken all our money, food, and they killed our parents. What more do they want?
catechins are bloodthirsty, cruel, and insatiably greedy. They want everything only to end up with nothing. This is a trick, an act of revenge. Remember? Today is the day of the Kakava, and also your birthday. They know the Avgin will surely hold a festival today. With the aid of this rain, they will come to destroy our wagons and take everything they want. Little do the catechins know, this time we will fight back. The men in black that descend from the skies are on our side. The catechins stand no chance against them, and will surely pay for their arrogance. Without this rain, the catechins would never take action, and we would not have the chance to turn the tide. This is a gift from Gaiathra, and you are Kakavasha, whose good fortune will bless your sister with success.
But people will die, and you will be in danger. How is that good fortune? Why are you all doing this?
The Avgin always return their blood debts. Gaiathra calls for me, while Papa and Mama are waiting for me. I must answer the call. But she will bless you with good fortune and help you survive. As long as you are alive, the blood of the Avgin will never run dry. So run, Kakavasha. Do not be afraid, and do not look back. Go to the other side of the mountain. The rain will accompany you, and the rain will bless you. As for us, we will reunite in Kakava's next aurora. May the goddess Gaiathra close her eyes 3 times. Keep your blood eternally pulsing. Let your journey be forever peaceful, and your schemes forever concealed. Farewell, Kakavasha.
Kakavasha? Bye. This act is dedicated to you. I hope it'll be an unforgettable memory for you. Kakavasha.
Do you truly want to destroy the world with your own hands?
Let's assume, just assuming now, that every time I roll the dice, there's a possibility of achieving this particular outcome. Then I would be quite happy to make that wager.
There must be some deeper meaning behind Aventurine's actions. I suspect he's been aware of Penacony's secret from the beginning and has been continuously strategizing to unveil it. In that sense, the Astral Express's role in his plans would be imperative. In the worst-case scenario, he may use us to do something unexpected.
Where do we start looking for him?
Ladies and gentlemen, the IPC cordially invites everyone to Clock Studios Theme Park. Everyone give it up for Miss Delaron! I will detonate the Stellaron in you and cause a teeny, tiny accident on Penacony. BAM! The entire theme park will be reduced to a shattered dream. Then, before the family can even react, I'll become the IPC fleet's navigator. I came from the wastelands of Sigonia. For just 60 red copper coins, people paid to brand me. Put me in chains. Place me in the gallows and bury me in the golden sands. Have you ever heard the saying, sleep is the rehearsal of death? Why do the living sleep? Oh, because we are not ready for the final rest. Every night is practice for the end. You and I are escaping into our dreams for fear of death at this very moment. And death will surface in our dreams. friends, the game has commenced, and you cannot choose to decline. Nor do you have any reason or grounds to. The dice are cast. Ladies and gentlemen, ready to unveil your cards? The Architect's flawed stone. Of no value at all. I'm putting down the bet. I'm taking the gamble. I'm claiming the win. I'll invade spin the wheel, a daring gamble. Walking the brink of death for rebirth. Oh. For the Emperor Lord! Even on a losing streak, as long as people still have hope, they'll keep throwing money on the table. The chance, how small. The potential is what you hang on to. That's what justifies the gamble. Everybody's like that, down to the last player. So why can't I be happy too? Why can't I feel that free? Friends, to fully relish this, I'm betting every last chip. Only by casting aside reason does one truly gamble. Emanator, I know you'll match my wager, right?
You're leaving?
Perhaps. I might pass through the place you mentioned.
Penacony. What do you hope to find within a dream?
I'm not looking for anything. They aren't in a dream.
I'm afraid the family will not open the doors for you. Because the path you walk is not accepted by the Harmony.
Even if... that's not what I want.
Precisely because it's not what you want. Because they are not like other eons. They have never glanced at anyone. And they never need to. They leave woven strands of fate for humans to walk. And together, they weave a great shadow. And this shadow silently envelops them.
There are always those who rise from the shadows.
They mostly become a part of the shadow.
In your eyes, am I the same?
You still have a strand of color.
That is enough. Before they vanish completely, I will reach the nihility's end. I wish to mourn the departed, weeping like rain, to swell the crossing stream. As the tide arrives, leading you back home.
A gigantic black hole. And see, have I succeeded?
Welcome to this sad world, Kakavasha. Your good luck is the most precious wealth we, all Avgin, have.
You came out alive after 2 days. It proves that you are the real deal.
Wealth, status, power. The IPC will give you whatever you want, even what you don't want. As for us, We will reunite in Kakava's next aurora.
It's a pity this is not the place you were expecting. The sleeping and shapeless never glance at anyone. They have no face, no form, and even less of a will to speak. The nihility envelops everyone equally. Only some who have gone under their shadow can go farther, tainting themselves with more nihility. That's all.
Is this my final destination? The land of the dead?
This is all but a fleeting dream. One of the thousands of manifestations of IX. Under the watchful eye of nihility, we momentarily linger here before moving on to our own paths. No one would have ever thought that you would have gone to such lengths, even staking your life just to prove a fact that had seemingly been disproved long ago. Real death does not exist in Penacony's dreamscape, because this is the only way you can uncover a secret that is even more unspeakable than the serial murders. To use this dream death to get there. To that promised land people constantly seek in this grand gathering. Penacony. The legacy of the Watchmaker. The true land of exile. I never imagined that something I learned about unexpectedly would become the key to connecting everything.
It's our Stellaron friend's identity, isn't it?
I see you're in the know.
This dream of theirs isn't a boundless sea. It's a lonely island. The family used the Harmony to build a high wall and isolate them from the vast and treacherous ocean of the outside world. That barrier they built keeps death out. But it also keeps the secrets that are lost in that watery abyss from floating to the surface. In a beautiful dream, free of suffering, who would want to go fishing for those secrets? No one.
Unless someone goes to the other side of the barrier and lives to tell the tale.
I got the idea early on, chewing on that masked fool's little hint. If a mute isn't someone who cannot make a sound, then it has to be someone who cannot speak. Someone who survived the treacherous depths, but is unable to take the stage and speak the truth. Well, I'm happy to know she's safe and sound, and still on Penacony. I didn't need to find the Memory Zone meme. I just needed for someone to kill me like it killed that silver-haired girl.
You don't sound very confident to me. Going out of your way to make citywide broadcasts in an attempt to involve more people. You are simply betting on the possibility of someone being able to break down the barrier. You're very lucky that fate has decided to let us cross paths. I happen to be equipped with a very sharp blade, sharp enough to slice through the veil of dreams. I can also carve the Harmony's brand off of you.
Well, it's a huge gamble, isn't it? But allow me to point out a mistake. The IPC's success is not guaranteed. I, unfortunately, have no contingencies for such an important matter. Detonating a Stellaron. I can't do it. The Aventurine stone is too broken to even safeguard my escape from the stage. If, at the end of the day, you did not unsheath your blade, I would have lost the bet.
It is pointless to discuss what-ifs. You have won. Your prize is an entry ticket into that deep sea. And after this, whether you can return from the abyss is another gamble of yours. Have you never wavered?
Wavered? Of course I have. But I can only bank on my own good fortune. Because other than that, I have nothing.
Wake up from this dream and go to where you should be. Your gamble is not over yet.
Before we part, can you answer one more question? As someone who has traveled on that road, can you tell me, why are we born into this world? If it's just to die.
I don't think this and never have. nor do you.
But the nihility envelops you and I. And everyone.
And because of that, it's pointless.
If the dice of fate are always weighted, then that is our destiny. Why, then, do we struggle against it?
But you said sleep is the rehearsal of death. So why does life sleep? Because we are not ready to welcome death. So you can definitely understand why we want to be prepared. But before the end, there are many things that humans can do while on their journey. And because of this, the end will thus reveal a completely different meaning. Take a good look at your pocket. Your friend has already given you the answer.
You're leaving? You ultimately chose to leave this dreamscape?
Yes. Because they are not here. My papa, mama, and big sis. There will come a day when the sky will drizzle, and I will hear the call of Gallagher Triclops, and know that it is time for me to go, and be reunited with my family. So, until that time comes, I should be preparing. Well, preparing to face them, Kakavasha, and to make them proud. What do you say? One last time? Put our palms together?
Are you going now?
Yes. May the Mother Goddess thrice close her eyes for you, keeping your blood eternally pulsing. May your journey be forever peaceful, and your schemes forever concealed.
Our paths will cross again beneath Kakava's shimmering auroras. Farewell, Kakavasha.
The light of the Aventurine stone has disappeared. This only represents one outcome.
He kept his promise and got what he wanted.
As planned, your cornerstone has been successfully sent to the family's territory. Then,
Let's fulfill our duty and start harvesting.
I originally planned on showing up earlier to reveal some truths to you, but I encountered more roadblocks than expected. 11 times I've tried, but ended in failure. Before I knew it, this world and I became too intertwined, and it became too difficult to escape the constraints of the script. This is to show you.
All that I am.
Why do you think that I just let him go? And why do you think I emptied the theme park stage? Because my target from the beginning has always been you, Hound. The more noise he makes, the more opportunities I have to make you and your true master pay in blood.
If I were really the murderer, why would you need to be so secretive? Ha! I forgot. You also have a difficult master to serve, telling you to ignore the murder case and focus solely on that Charmony festival. Isn't that right, my brother?
Looks like your disguise has helped you successfully understand every facet of the family. Indeed, every part of you is real. The brown hair, soft and curly like Benny's. The orange eyes, which make me miss the gaze of Sir Whitaker. That odd scar, the mark of Wolsey. And the gray vest, tie, hound emblem, bottle, the bartending, and your role as a security officer. These are all true traits from all 52 loyal family members. Tell me I'm wrong.
But so what? Can this prove that I murdered your sister and that stowaway?
This proves that you and the Memory Zone meme death are linked. And that's enough.
You devil. You wretched, despicable dog. Why did you kill her?
You know, in the thick of things, people are blind to the grit in their eyes. Yet they can always feel it scratch. Want the answer? I'll give it to you. The whole thing is just fate playing a cruel joke on us.